This is day 21 of building a video company. So today I was working on a bunch of client contract projects, freelance projects you can think of, which is spanning in design, technology, and not much video work. If you wonder why I kind of take up freelance projects and contract projects, is because the revenue generated from these freelance projects helps fund the operations at the startup, essentially, in a nutshell. So the money that you make from like freelance gigs are being used to fuel and fund operations and research and playing around and testing out a couple of things and building that first MVP at a video company, essentially. So yeah, uh, I have been spending my time doing and delivering a bunch of those projects. Currently working on a website for a client. Yeah, that's all I'm allowed to say. I'm not allowed to reveal too many details. But I love building websites, and that's always a fun thing. And I've just been thinking whether I should pivot from building the MVP at the moment and focus on building out the content solutions at a video company. I even was having a second thought, which is, since a video company is you could think of it in pre-revenue and we're still testing things out, and the need of the moment right now is actually to generate revenue and generate cash flow, because that will help me kind of fund certain operations for building a video company at a much better and faster rate. I feel that there's a certain amount of capital that you'll always require in order to start doing certain things, but at the same time you want to have a really good roadmap for any capital that you plan on spending. For example, if you have let's say a lakh, right, and you want to spend that on building a company, you really need to think about where exactly you're going to spend the first 10,000, the 20,000, 30,000. Like, kind of create like a pie chart of where what are the sectors you'd be, or departments you'd be investing and using the money for, and then further break down that area into steps and actionable steps, where you feel your money is going to be going towards. I feel that's very important. Basically, having a roadmap for your money or your investment or your capital is something that I feel is important, because having no plan is very, very scary. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been thinking of. So anyways, by doing some freelance projects, I'm able to generate some amount of capital, and that same capital can be reinvested. Portion of it can be reinvested into certain operations at a video company. Right now, what's going well is our content solutions, because it's a service, and a lot of people are looking to create content for their personal brand or their brand, like physical product brand. So yeah, there's a great interest. There's a lot of interest in the service that, at least that we envision and what we're currently doing. We've successfully been able to test a few innovative type of reels for a few clients. But yeah, it's still in testing, so I still have to nail down the system and process for it, and make it very optimized and sustainable. So trying to get more data and insights on that. The second thing, that the two other verticals, right, which is content solution, community, and the tech product. I think what's happening is, when you're focusing on too many things, right, you won't be able to build one thing properly. And I'm facing this scenario again. Like, I'm having a flashback from how in my previous startup we were a full service design and tech company. And running a full service design and tech company is like running a kitchen that has 10 different cuisines, and each cuisine has 10 different dishes. So there's no way you could specialize in any dish. And I don't want that to happen over here. I really want to get good at one thing. And the idea to start a video company was to focus just on video. But then in video, there's so many more things that you can do, right? So there's a little bit of clarity and readjusting of goals that I feel needs to be done, and a few minor pivots that I would need to take. Uh, the way I would plan on doing that is by setting a few deadlines, and if I don't hit that deadline, that means this task has failed successfully. And this was another conversation I was having with a friend earlier, which is uh, we often don't set a timeline to fail. Like, it's important to fail. I think I mentioned that a couple of times, but when do we know that we failed, right? What are the criterias of failing, and what's the deadline to fail? Like, because if we don't fail fast enough, and if we don't learn from our failures, then we won't be able to implement our learnings and create V2 or V3 or version 2 and version 3 of ourselves or the thing that we are building. So I believe it's important to fail fast, and the reason of failing fast is to learn as fast as possible, to learn why exactly things didn't go the way you thought it would go. So yeah, in a couple of minds right now. I was also involved in a like personal kind of family problem. So I've just been trying to take my mind away from that and focus on work, get back into the work culture, work grind, and remember why we've started this. So yeah, uh, I'm a human being, like just like everyone else, and your life sometimes does get in the way when you're in general, like living when you're living life as a human being, life does get in the way. So yeah, just want to share my story, and yeah, see you for day 22.